You are now listening to The World Within. The World Within. With your hosts, Christian and Ethan.
Welcome to the World Within podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Christian.
And I'm Ethan, and we're back only on audio here this week, or this day, I guess, on Thursdays.
Yeah, this day. Thursdays are audio-only days.
Yeah, I like it. It'll lead to more episodes still, currently, and be going along nicely.
Yeah, we'll make it smooth for you guys, and just hope you enjoy it, you know? Mm-hmm. We like it like this, and
yeah.
we were talking, actually, about expanding the YouTube channel and kind of we have some ideas going, so just stay tuned for all that, and it'll be some fun.
Yeah, one way to stay tuned is to give all of our social medias a follow and DM us, and we'll DM you, and it'll be a little fun time.
Yeah, we'll chat you up. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on everything. Yeah. So
just hit us with that you up.
Yeah, you up. So just DM us and we'll have a good time.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
we've been doing that. We love talking to everyone. It's such a good time.
I was just on Twitter. Love talking to all the people in the chats and everything.
Yeah, for sure. We love feedback, all of it. So just keep it up, guys. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, and
we're loving it.
Another thing here is our Patreon. We have our stickers and all of our shout outs. You know, love getting shout outs. And shirts. Who doesn't love a shirt? Shirts
we have a lot of merch, and we're talking more and more ideas. The more Patreons we get, we're wanting to expand this, and and you guys like it. You guys like the designs and everything, so we'll just keep it up for you guys. This is all for you. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, this is all for you.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the Gardner Museum Heist.
Gardner. Never knew her. Yeah, the Gardner Museum Heist. This is actually, if you've never heard of it, it's actually the biggest art museum heist in the world, which is crazy because I feel like that's a common thing maybe at some point in time.
I feel like art heists and stuff like this is more like movies.
Yeah,
movies.
But I mean, this is real.
Yeah,
and it's also the biggest property heist in America.
Yeah. So Gardner Art Museum. It was all built in 1901.
Long time ago.
It housed 15,000 pieces of art.
That's a lot.
That is a lot of pieces of art. That all changed one day.
Yeah.
On March 18th, 1990, the museum fell victim to this historic heist right here.
That's a rough one. You know, I feel like the goal of a museum is to not fall victim to heists. It's
put its name on the map.
It did put its name, I guess.
I mean, all publicity is good publicity, right?
Except when you lose $500 million worth of art.
Ooh, yeah. 13 pieces of art were stolen at, just like you said, $500 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and of course, the museum, they were undergoing changes to their outdated security system at the time.
Good timing.
Yeah, terrible
timing.
Good timing. But
so on the night of the heist, two security guys, they were unexperienced as hell. Like
they were terrible.
They were horrible. So you got security guard number 1. It's Richard E. Abath. He was a music school dropout.
Already great.
Yep. Part-time rock band rock star.
Wonder if he was any good.
No, because he had his rock shows during the day and he worked during the night. So I don't know about you guys, but I don't really go to concerts or anything during the daytime.
That's a bit weird.
That is a bit weird. And so this guy was a character. We'll just say that to the lead. He would come home. Or come to work, sorry. He would come to work drunk or stoned after his rock shows, whatever that was. Probably 3 people were there. And but he insisted he was sober on the day of the heist.
I'm sure he was.
Yeah.
I mean, he seems like a trustworthy guy. But at 12:54, a half hour before the heist all came down, before the guys got in, a fire alarm just kind of went off on the 3rd floor, and the security guards, it was their job to go maybe check on it.
Yeah.
They went and there was nothing. It was just a faulty alarm or something. They just, kind of were whatever with it. But then at 1:24 a.m., there was two people dressed as police. They buzzed the security desk, and Abbott, of course, he was like, "What do you guys want right now?" You know,
I'm trying to smoke some weed right now.
Can you leave me alone? And they were like, "Oh, we're just we're responding to a disturbance call," and they demanded entry in. You know, seems normal police at this point.
Yeah.
He claimed Abbott here, you know, the great Abbott. He claimed he wanted to avoid getting arrested because he had tickets to a Grateful Dead concert.
Dude, he just wanted to see the Dead, bro.
Where are they playing? Because he would have to be working at night. This is super late.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably consider 1 a.m. like
his
that day.
Yeah,
you know, start at midnight.
I assume so. But
I don't know. It's Grateful Dead though. They could have a show at 4 a.m. You know, they were wild guys.
They were. It's true. Yeah, but Abbott he kind of just let them in. He's like, all right, you guys are the police. I don't want to be arrested, so just come on in.
I mean, I understand. You're a security guy.
Yeah, you feel like you'd probably be okay with police.
Yeah.
And then, but the problem is, he allowed them in, and the men came in. They're like, hey, you kind of look familiar. We actually have a standing warrant out for your arrest. And then they were like, all right, you need to come out here and give us your ID, some identification right now.
Does that mean no Grateful Dead?
That means his goal of just going to if he would have just not let the police in, he would have been to the Grateful Dead concert.
He would have been fine.
Yeah, so he kind of he allowed them to get out from like the whole point of this was to allow the robbers to get Abbott away from the control desk. Because, again, this amazing security system, Abbott was the only person who could have, like, pressed the button because the only button to ever alert the police was under the control desk.
Right.
Not a great system.
That's why they were upgrading the system. Because, I mean, I install security systems for a living. And I will say that some people actually request this where they press it and it lets the security guy know. They don't want like the police being called all the time and stuff like that. Because I guess police presence is kind of bad for business. And that's like kind of their... Maybe that was the art people's mindset there.
Maybe.
But they were upgrading their system at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it wasn't great at this point. Let's just say that much.
Yeah.
But so they told him to stand against the wall, spread eagle, and... Well, they were arrested. Yes, the robbers as them. They as they were arresting him, the second security guard he just pulls up. You know, he just shows up, and he's like, "What's going on here? What happened?" And they arrested him too. And he was like, "Why am I being arrested right now?" And then one of the robbers leaned in and said, "You're not being arrested. This is a robbery. Don't give us any problems, and you won't get hurt." This is some like bad guy in a bad action movie.
It's like a B-list movie.
Yeah, but the motion detectors in the museum, you know, it showed the men. They kind of were going towards the second floor after they already, you know, arrested the security guards and they put them in the basement.
Taped them up.
These guys can't do nothing.
Yeah, not that they were a threat to begin
they're
with.
like, this museum's ours. We'll just, you know, let's go hunting, let's go shopping. And they went to the second floor, is what the motion detectors showed, and then they split up and they were like started removing art from the walls. Which, right. I mean, you'd think that they would be like, you think they like would cut it out?
Yeah,
or did they take like the whole thing? Because I know a lot of the frames are expensive too, but they'd be bolted on the walls.
Right. I would assume that they cut it out. I mean, that's at least what they do in the movies.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I mean, sometimes maybe I guess it could be not bolted to the wall, like it was.
Yeah, but
who knows?
I mean, the thing is these guys knew what they were doing because in their security system currently, they had it where if you were too close to the artwork and everything, that it would set off the alarm.
That's true.
But they did set off one of the alarms trying to get to the painting. And so the robbers, they found the alarm and they just destroyed the shit out of it. They just hammered it until it was broken and the alarm shut up.
That's a great way to do it.
And so after that, it was around like 2:28 a.m. So they were there for quite a while.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they were doing a lot. And so the robbers returned to the security counter. They checked up on the guards and everything, made sure they didn't escape or run away or all that. And then after 13 minutes or so, they got ready to leave and they took all their art to the vehicle in 2 separate trips. So they had quite a bit of art.
That's rook.
I mean,
You can't do it in one trip.
I know. It's just like the whole like groceries,
Yeah,
you know.
I'm assuming it's
you do it
exactly
in
like
one
that.
trip. You don't, and especially for a heist of
Yeah, come on, you gotta
$500,
get going.
You just you gotta go. And witnesses actually said that they saw the robbers leaving the museum in a red hatchback. So if you see anyone in a red hatchback, make a citizen's arrest. Just pull them over.
We're trying to do a deal with
question
them. They probably have some
That's
nice
true.
artwork
That's
up
true.
for sale.
Maybe
You have
like-
a few $1 million laying around.
Yeah, just like offer them a $20 bill.
Yeah, maybe they'll take it.
You know,
They are criminals.
you can get good deals on this.
Yeah,
stuff.
for sure.
They stole 3 Rembrandts, which I don't know if you guys know that, but great artwork. And here's a fancy kind of thing they took. It was a gilded Phil eagle from the Napoleon banner.
Yeah, it was
kind of
It's not as
weird
expensive
grab.
as like most of the artwork there, so it was kind of weird that they would take that.
Right.
But I'm assuming it looks cool, so
Yeah, I mean,
I'm assuming they were like, oh, this looks really cool. This would be great on my mantle.
yeah, I mean, it was gold and
Yeah.
everything, so it was nice. They probably thought originally that it was worth a lot, maybe.
Yeah, and they attempted to take a 4th Rembrandt, but it was actually they reported it was too big to fit in their red hatchback.
Too big. The hatchback cannot fit it.
They should have gone with a minivan
They should have.
or just a van in general.
Or Mini Coopers.
I don't think a Mini Cooper would be good in this situation.
It was good in the Italian job.
It was, it's true. It's a bit different, but
A bit different. So sometime between 6:45 a.m. and 8:16 a.m., the 2 morning security guards, I hope these guys, I mean, they were a little bit better at their job.
you would think that you'd have the best people working at night.
Yeah, but also that kind of goes both ways because no one wants to work a night shift, you know?
That's
so
true.
you can't really get quality at that time. But so the 2 morning guys, they were unable to enter the museum and they called the deputy security director and he was like, I don't know why it's locked. And then so the deputy security director called the police and at 8:30 a.m. the police showed up. It said they unlocked the door. I'm not sure how they
I'm
got
assuming
in.
they broke it. Like they
Just-
broke the lock to get in.
Yeah, somehow. And
Brought a locksmith in.
when they opened the door, they saw the 2 security guys still handcuffed and
Handcuffs.
taped up and stuff. So that was kind of a surprise to them.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean
sure.
they were fine.
Yeah, I mean there was no damage
They were
to
just
them.
spent the night.
the
Missed
only
the Grateful Dead concert.
the only people at the end of this that got hurt were the rich art owner.
Yeah,
You know.
and Abbott, who missed his concert.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That is a shame.
He did miss that Grateful Dead concert. I do feel bad for him. That's probably the worst crime of all.
Oh, well, I guess not, because if you think about it, we were already saying that it was like 1:45, and he would think that it would happen that day, like it considered that day.
Yeah.
But
he was probably in police
It was at
questioning.
8:30 a.m.
He was probably in police questioning
Well,
for
I'm
quite
sure
some
he's
time.
like, guys, let me just go to the Grateful Dead concert. And
Like,
we'll be
all
open."
right, you're a
Like,
suspect.
can we come?
You're a potential suspect, but okay, sure.
Who knows? Maybe the police were big fans of the Grateful Dead.
Yeah. So the police were asking Abbott here. They're like, all right, so what went down, blah, 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 blah. And Abbott was like, oh, well, they were wearing fake police costumes, so I thought they were police officers, so I let them in. And then the police were like, so you got a good look at their faces? And Abbott is like, yeah, of course. And they're like, what do you look like? What'd they look like? And he didn't remember anything.
He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. I was too busy smoking weed.
He kind of looked like you. He was in a police uniform.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah, he couldn't recall what they looked like, and when like the police sketch went out to the public, he claimed that it was terrible. It was just awful.
Yeah,
Which
it didn't
isn't great. I mean, they say police sketches aren't really reliable anyway, but you know, if
Right.
you can't get a good look at these. Like, what you're a security guard? I'm pretty sure they teach you that.
Right. A lot of people for this too. They were kind of wondering what like was going through like the thieves' minds because there were art in there that was left over that was like quadruple the amount of what they had. Like, there were Michelangelo
Mm-hmm.
paintings in here, and that's, I mean, that one of those by itself is 500 million. So I wonder if they like knew what they were doing by getting
Knew
low
who to
end
target,
kind of
who
things.
owned
Yeah,
what.
exactly. So it's kind of rumored they don't really know if it's high profile, you know, thief or like a small town kind of thing.
Yeah, so in April of 1994, the museum actually got an anonymous letter. The author, in the letter, he claimed to know the location of the stolen art, and they also wrote that, or that the museum said that they believed that this person actually like knew a lot about the stolen art and like kind of like the art world in general and like the art market and everything. So I mean, they kind of know what they were talking about in the letter. And they said that the person in the letter said that the art was in a safe environment, but the museum had to act quickly because they actually had a buyer like in line from another country who could buy the art without knowing it was stolen and then claim legal ownership over it.
He used the classic, you know, when you're selling a car, you're like,
Yeah,
hey,
I have two other people who are
two
about to
other
buy
people.
this.
Yeah, they're gonna buy it full price, so it's either act now, you know.
Yeah.
That's what that seems like, you know. Why gloat about another buyer right there?
Right. Well, that actually leads in because they actually received so in the first one they asked for $2.6 million for the return of it, and the museum agreed to that. But the author then of the letter, he wrote another time, and he said that he was pleased that they were willing to negotiate a little bit, but he's not going to do it because he's scared of, you know, the police or the FBI or whatever just arresting him. And he was just the middleman, he said. Which, come on.
I mean, why write the letter if you're gonna be sketched out?
Right.
You know?
What's the point?
It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, so it
thing
just kind
to
of
write.
backed out there at the end. So you want to get into some theories here?
Yeah, let's get into some of the theories.
Well, I have a theory here. It's Brian McDevitt. And so this is kind of one of those where it's like, oh, this guy was here. He was known to do things like this. Let's just throw him into the suspect pool. But
Yeah.
so McDevitt, he actually committed a a little bit similar heist in the 80s. So he hijacked a FedEx truck. And he dosed the driver with some drugs. You know, that's always
Hopefully some good drugs.
hopefully not some. I think it was drugs to knock him out, but so who knows?
Not he didn't give him some weed, and he's like, "Hey, just chill in here. I'm gonna borrow your
chill for a
outfit real
minute."
quick."
So he dosed him, and then he put on the FedEx uniform, and he was like carrying around duct tape. And his plan was to find museum employees at the Hyde Collection in Glens Falls, New York. Never heard of her.
Never
Glens
heard of
Falls?
her. No,
I bet it's a pretty nice place if they have a bunch of art and stuff going around there.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably pretty rich. Who knows?
probably.
But the funny thing is, McDevitt, you know, he had a little bit of a team. You know, he had a crack team on the plan here. They got stuck in traffic though.
The classic.
They got stuck in
traffic.
traffic, and they didn't get to the museum before it closed. So they kind of just were like, "Oh well, this is great."
Oops.
They got arrested, and he would go on to serve. He only served a few months in prison because all he did was drug someone. I mean, come on, you
Yeah.
can forgive him. He served a few months in jail for attempted robbery, but why he's in this suspect list is he wore a costume in that one, so kind of maybe a little bit.
So that's the reason.
He didn't get stuck in traffic going to the museum this time though,
That's
so it
true.
couldn't have been him.
And it was St. Patrick's Day
That's true.
parties going around.
He actually
so-
lived about a 10-minute drive, but 10 minutes for him is actually like 45 because he always gets stuck in traffic everywhere he goes.
Oh,
Yeah, but they kind of just threw him in there because he only lived 10 minutes away, and they're like, he's a robber in this area, I guess.
yeah.
So they kind of threw him into that. He was questioned by the FBI in 1992, and he actually testified in front of a grand jury, but like nothing ever came of it. And his lawyer, he went on to say that he knew nothing about the crime, but I mean, I think, come on.
Of course, yeah.
Come on, he had to know something about it. But that's all Brian McDevitt. I think that's kind of just, you know,
I think
the
that's
classic
pretty cool.
scapegoat.
that he's like a famous art heist person. I don't know why, but I always, when I think of like a museum heist guy,
French people?
I think of magicians. Like,
Really?
for some reason, they like throw smoke on the ground and disappear and stuff like that.
I think of French like acrobats.
Oh, okay, yeah,
They're
like
they
parkour
can, like,
people.
Yeah, they like kind of maybe like scratch open like a glass thing and then just like tap it and it'll like fall in, and they can like get between lasers.
Should we make a duo here where we just hire a bunch of magicians
French acrobats?
We'd be dangerous. We would make some things.
That would be a dangerous team.
So let's go into theory 2 here. That the heist was an inside job.
I like this one.
The classic inside job, you know. It explains why the thieves knew where like the alarm button was at, and the knowledge of all the artwork on which ones had the anti-theft devices, which ones didn't. And the FBI actually claimed that Abbott had not been fully ruled out as a suspect. So
interesting.
I mean, it does make sense because if you remember, Abbott didn't remember the faces of the police officers, and he let the robbers in through the employee entrance, which broke kind of protocol. And so that kind of is like you've broken 2 rules, not 2 rules, but I mean like you're kind of being sketchy, you know.
And the only other person who saw him during the heist was the other security guard, and they could have staged that, like arresting him
very easily.
Yeah,
but it gets deeper here. So
that's an alibi right there.
The motion detectors didn't record the thieves on the first floor where a piece was stolen, but they did pick up Abbott in that room before the thieves arrived.
That's strange.
So maybe he cut out the artwork before they arrived and everything. And Abbott broke protocol twice actually before because I mean he broke protocol for letting the policeman in, but he broke it twice before. On this one, kind is okay. On New Year's, there was kind of like a party going on. He let a few friends in. He was working. He wanted his friends to come in so they all could get drunk.
You gotta. I mean, it's
Whatever.
New Year's.
That's a cool New Year's.
He probably wanted it off, but he got scheduled, and it was the whole thing.
Exactly. But that's not strange. What's strange is the third time he let an unidentified visitor the night before the heist. He let the visitor come in and kind of like was hidden from security cameras and everything. And police actually believe that this visitor could have been doing like kind of a dry run because the visitor came in through the employee entrance.
Right.
Exactly how the police did. So maybe they were thinking that they were kind of like pre-doing this heist.
Yeah, like kind of, scouting out the joint, but picking also, out what you want to do.
That kind of seems weird to me though, because why wouldn't you just do it, What if like the owners came in and were like, "Oh, what the heck?"
Well, that's the thing,
true.
Because Abbott
see if it went through.
Abbott is like the guy that they think he's behind it all.
He could be a mastermind.
He could be.
It's all ploy that he's shows up drunk and stoned to work and everything.
It's all fake.
But so police asked him, Abbott here. They were like, "Okay, dude, who was the visitor the night before?" You know what this mastermind said? I don't remember. I don't remember the person I brought yesterday.
It was like the day before the heist. I mean, I understand this was probably a really traumatic thing, and like that kind of just like completely overshadows this thing. But like, come on, I mean, you would still remember.
Yeah, you don't forget like someone that you brought in,
right? Especially it's only something you've ever done 3 times.
But get this: in 2015, Abbott stated that he's still angry about that night. So he's clear.
Because I mean, he really wanted to go to that Grateful Dead concert.
I guarantee that's what it is. It's the Grateful Dead concert. He really wanted to go.
He never got to.
Yeah, it's just. I could see the whole inside job theory.
I like it. It definitely would make for a better movie. I think
for sure.
I think this whole situation would make for a better movie. But
wouldn't you think that Abbott would be like rich as hell right now, though?
Well, that's his thing.
That's his thing. He just likes the artwork. Maybe.
He just likes the art. He didn't want to sell it. He wants to keep it in his. Maybe he sold it to someone for like a really nice guitar or something. Who knows?
Grateful Dead tickets.
Yeah, maybe that's how he got the Grateful Dead tickets. Exactly.
So The museum actually, at one point, they were offering a $5 million reward for any information that led to getting the artwork back, which I don't know about you guys, but $500 million, $5 million. I think we're just going to hold on to the artwork.
Yeah,
you know?
come on.
So, and then at one point, actually, they doubled that to $10 million, but it expired in 2017. So all you private detector people, whatever you guys are, private detectives.
I don't think they're called private detectors.
Hey, you never know.
That's another thing. That's another device. That's not.
But
same.
Private detectives, you can't get $10 million. It's back to $5 million. Sorry.
Yeah, so there's no point of returning this. I think this one's just make a movie out of it. And that's how you get your money back.
At the end of that, maybe, hey, I think you just got onto something right there. What if it was the Gardner Museum that
trying to sell their
did
movie
all
rights?
this to get movie rights?
Do you think the Watcher family, they were in on this too?
Oh, shoot. That's
Maybe
a good
they're-
episode.
maybe
If you
they're
guys
a
want to
writing
check that
team.
out, too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's definitely
That is a good one.
So, in 2005, Boston attorney said, "Hey, we're not gonna prosecute you
I believe you.
if you just come forward and tell us who stole the paintings, give us the paintings back. We won't throw you in jail. We promise."
Okay.
So yeah,
we'll just sue you.
spoiler alert: no one came forward. It's still a mystery to this day. I think it's gonna be a mystery for the next 100 years. You know,
I don't think it's ever gonna be solved.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe the
been done.
art will be found, but there's so much like rich, influential people
Right.
that will buy. Like, you'll have like Russian mobsters. You have so many like Chinese businessmen just all over the world who can just buy this and then own
Right.
legal ownership, and you can't do anything about
full
it.
ownership.
So I think it's really just, what can you do at this point?
Exactly.
Make a movie. I'm telling you, I think they should just make a movie.
So what do you think is the most likely case here?
I think I like the Inside Job the most.
Yeah.
I think that's just the whole visitor the night before, like sketching out the plays, how he couldn't remember the faces at all.
Right.
Like nothing, you couldn't recall anything. Like that just is fishy to me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think Abbott was in on it, not necessarily like the whole
could have been a fall guy,
mastermind.
kinda.
Yeah, I think he was the fall guy for it, and they just didn't have enough to bust him for anything. So I think that theory makes the most sense. Just kind of like a small town gang or whatever that lives nearby kind of orchestrated the
I
whole
don't know about
thing,
that one.
sold it to people who, at the end of the day, who knows? But I think Inside Job is the most likely here.
I like the Inside Job.
For sure.
Again, I think it should just all be resolved by the rich people just making a movie. Just get film rights with Disney, something.
That's what's going to happen.
Make a movie. You'll probably get your $500 million back, let's be honest.
Netflix will pick it up if they don't get canceled.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? They've already been canceled.
That's true. Kitties is don't watch that. Please don't watch that, guys. But thank you guys for listening to this episode. It was a good one. It was a fun one to research and everything.
Short and sweet.
Short and sweet, and that's it's cool.
That's cool, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but that's about it on the Gardner Museum. It's still unsolved. Who knows if it'll ever be solved? But thank you for listening. Catch us Sunday. Sunday, next episode.
We will be having video. So check us out, and hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to The World Within.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all you do.
Join our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and catch us next week. Thank you.